This is my custom Specialized SL8, and I think I've made it lighter and faster than the £12,000 S-Works alternative. So why did I go for the SL8? I think for me it's that blend of weight, stiffness, and also aerodynamics, and I think it's that package that the Specialized does better than kind of any other bike out there. It does what it does really well, perfectly engineered, and I just feel super confident on it. I've never been on a bike before where I've pushed it so hard around corners, and yeah, so far I've stayed on, so I'll give it that. I've had an insane amount of fun building this bike, and it's kind of the concept that got me so hyped. That was buying the cheapest stock Ultegra SL8 online, and then just being really purposeful and really tactical with all the bits that I've upgraded. To be fair, it's almost every bolt now, but they're all for a reason. And yeah, like the title says, I truly think this is definitely lighter and faster than an S-Works would be. So now we're going to do a deep dive into the bike and stick around for the end because we're going to do that weigh-in. Starting with the wheels, we've got the 5058 Superlights from number 6. They're a Chinese brand and it's in the name. They're 1280 grams for the pair, so incredibly lightweight and also really good depth for those aero gains. One thing I noticed with the carbon spokes in these wheels are they're super stiff, which is, you know, a good thing, but on some of the London roads I thought feel a little bit too harsh. On those wheels I'm running 32mm Continental GP5000 tyres. Around London and UK in general, I think they just are going to run faster, and yeah, going for those efficiency gains. Not great for weight, but we'll live with it. For the shifters and the rear derailleur, I'm using Ultegra. Could go Dura-Race and lose a bit more weight, but it just didn't feel worth it for the price. For the cockpit, I've swapped out the bars and stem and gone for the Roval Rapide integrated system. That's what comes on the S-Works as stock. Just solid pair of bars, bit lighter, stiff, and I've gone 38 centimeters with a 110 stem. The only downside on these bars is that it comes with a really boring sort of metal top cap. So I found a company called Alpitude that do a carbon version, although it did cost £80. Up front, I've got a 3D printed computer mount from MagCad. It's supposed to be a few grams lighter and it just looks a bit slicker. For the saddle, I'm running the Prologo Nago R4. It's a 3D printed saddle, it's super comfy, and it looks pretty sick as well. It's got the carbon rails, and for me it was just a bit more comfortable than the Specialized 3D printed saddles that I tried. Big weight win on this build were the carbon cranks. Everyone's using them, and they're the Elilee X310s. I've got them in 165, and I think they're about 200 grams lighter than the Ultegra that came with it. One thing from the start I wanted to do was run a 1x setup on this bike. You know, it saves weight, it's more aero, but mainly it looks really cool, and I just have a lot of fun riding 1x. So at the front I've got a 50-tooth chainring from Stone on AliExpress, and on the back I'm running an 11-36. And yeah, I'm not scared of hills, not around London anyway, and I'm also not spinning out in group rides, so I think that's the perfect ratio for me. For the pedals, I've gone with the Favero Assioma Pro power pedals. Good for numbers, good for humbling myself, and they self-calibrate too, which is super nice. Next we've got the rear derailleur, which is the Ultegra, but obviously we've bolted on a big ceramic speed oversized pulley wheel. This is definitely sort of bordering on vanity, but I'll take it. You know, it's 2 to 4 watts, and that could get me closer to claiming it's faster than the S-Works as well. You might have noticed this nice derailleur hanger. It's from FramesandGear. They say it's stiffer, and they say it's also supposed to aid with taking the wheel on and off. I've not noticed that, but I do think it looks cool. One of my favorite pieces on this bike is actually from AliExpress, and it's this 11-36 chainring. It's from a brand called ZTTO, and I was finding it really hard to find like weight weenie cassettes in that ratio, but this one seems to be really good. It's a tiny bit more clunky, but it doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, it's a hell of a lot lighter than the 105. And I think it's also about 100 grams lighter than the Dura-Race in 11-34, which is crazy. Nothing special for the chain, it's the one that came with the bike I think, but obviously I've waxed it to get a few more watts. Carbon bottle cages from AliExpress, I think they're about 15 grams a piece. They're a bit loose on the bottle, but I've had no issues, and I find it really hard to spend proper money on bottle cages. So that's pretty much it. I mean, the bottom bracket is just the stock one, as is the headset. It'd be nice to go ceramic at some point with those, but this, as it stands, is a rocket ship. It's way more advanced than I'll ever be. It's a next level. what I'd ever need at my fitness, unfortunately. But I have a lot of fun riding it, and that's what matters, and that's what gets me on the bike. All right, finally, we've got the weigh-in. So I was going for under 7 kg. Reports online vary on the weight of the 58 centimeter S-Works, but I think it's around 7.1 without pedals, so maybe 7.2 or 3 with pedals. So under 7 kg, I will be very happy on this build. 6.8, basically on the dot. So buzzing with that, super happy with that. Like I said, the S-Works is 12 grand, and that comes with 26mm tires. So yeah, to have 32mm tires, no compromises, you know, the heavier oversized pulley wheel, buzzing. I'd be super interested to know what changes you'd make to this, so let me know in the comments. Is it too blingy? Is it too overkill? Probably both, but yeah, let me know your opinions too. And until next time, see ya.